today I'm going to be making something called Hotteok, which is brown sugar hotcakes. Now, I have done something I've never done before. I have made them already. And this is our second attempt because the first attempt didn't go to plan. So I'm going to tell you how I made them. This is what they look like. They look weirder now. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just been outside. They look a bit weird. I think I burnt them a bit. Yeah, I did burn them a bit. And they are freaking delicious. So here's how I made them. So to make the batter, in a large bowl, combine the water, half a tablespoon of superfine sugar, which is actually just caster sugar for us lot in the UK. I'm not sure they have caster sugar in Korea. And I didn't realise that. So what I did, me being me, was got a food processor and ground granulated sugar into a fine sand. And then I read on the internet that superfine sugar is the same thing as caster sugar. So, yes, use caster sugar. Combine the water, and that is half a cup of warm water, half a tablespoon superfine sugar, and 2 teaspoons of dried instant yeast, and mix that until well combined, and then set aside for 10 minutes because we need to let the yeast do its stuff. And then, after you've waited for 10 minutes, you're going to add the flour, the milk, the salt, and mix until a dough begins to form. Now, the first time that we did this, we did not use the right flour because we don't have all-purpose flour in the UK. So, and I'm saying we because my mum did all of this. We used self-raising because we thought, why would it matter? But it does matter. Self-raising is not the same thing as all-purpose. Plain flour is what you want to use if you're in the UK. So you want to use plain flour. So after you wait for 10 minutes, you add the plain flour, the milk, and the salt, and then mix until the dough begins to form. And after the second time we did this, we already noticed a difference in the dough. It won't be stodgy. It will be quite sticky and sort of like a donut dough, I suppose. And then on a lightly floured work surface, knead the dough for 45 minutes. Not 45, 4 to 5 minutes. Put the dough in the large bowl, cover with plastic wrap, and let it expand and double in size for about an hour. Now, for us, we did this on a day when it was like incredibly hot the other day. And after about 10 minutes, it already tripled in size. And this was the result at about 45 minutes. So we were like, okay, we should have used a bigger bowl. Use a big bowl because it will expand so incredibly much. Once you have let it prove for about an hour, you need to make the filling. And in a small bowl to make the filling, combine the brown sugar, and that is 2.5 tablespoons of light brown sugar, the remaining half tablespoon of superfine sugar or caster sugar, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. If I've missed any measurements, which I probably have, I will put the stuff in the description, and I'll put the link to the recipe in the description because I'm using that book I used. Look, I'm using that book. And then once you've made the filling, you need to dust your hands with flour and roll golf bowl sized balls with all of the dough. Put one ball in the palm of your hand, flatten with your other hand, and place 1 teaspoon of the filling in the middle. I recommend, if you can fit it in, doing as much filling as you can because in the pan it will melt, and depending on how big your cakes are, you will hardly notice the filling is there. And then after you put the filling in, fold over gently to close and repeat with the rest of the dough and filling. In batches, which I didn't do because I was scared, in a large lightly oiled skillet or frying pan over a medium heat, fry the stuffed dough circles until they puff up at about 2 minutes. Flip and cook until browned 2 to 3 minutes. I found that because I was only doing one at a time, they were cooking a lot quicker because the pan is less crowded. So if you're going to do one at a time, 2 to 3 minutes for the total cooking time. So flip it over halfway through. And they're very, very, very easy to burn. So what they use in Korea, because it's a Korean street food. Did I mention that? I don't think it is. So Hotteok is a Korean street food. Very popular. Also known as brown sugar hotcakes. They use a special tool. I don't know what it's called. A Hotteok tool. And it basically flattens the dough before they fry it into the perfect circle shape. as you can see, these are not similar at all. Cool. And in order to overcome this, because we don't have one of those, we used a ramekin, a well-floured ramekin, which is a really good substitute. Did the perfect for the job. And what you're going to do is you press it down quite firmly, but being careful not to split the ball, otherwise the filling will come out. Press it down quite firmly so you get the round shape you're after, but not too firmly that it completely flattens out and doesn't puff up. So you're looking for it to puff up, and then you want to flip it over, and it should be about, I'm trying to find one that's like nice. It should be this colour. It should be like a golden brown, not burnt. I am getting, these are incredibly sticky. Where was I? Oh yeah, so once they've cooked, you put them on a paper towel to wipe away the excess grease and oil, and then once you're cooking more, you add more vegetable oil to the pan as needed, and then repeat until all the pancakes have been fried. They're technically pancakes, but they're basically donuts. Now I got more confident after this, and I did 3 at a time, which is when I burnt some. So once they've all been fried, it does not say to do this in the recipe, but I chose to do it because why wouldn't you? I had a load of cinnamon sugar mixture left over, so I rolled them in it. Because you're going to do that, aren't you? You're going to do that. So I did that, and then it's best served hot. Well, I waited for mine to cool down because I don't fancy having scalding hot sugar mixture in my mouth. So I waited for mine to cool down a bit, but they are best served warm. They're still quite warm. They're not scalding hot because I don't fancy burning my mouth. Okay, here we go. That's dead nice. Oh, can you see them? Can you see them? Can you see them? This one I flattened out way too much. So they're actually surprisingly easy to make because I know I didn't do it. My mum made the dough, but I fried them. So, you know, and they are really, really delicious. If you like cinnamon sugar, you'll really like these. So we're gonna try one. I'm not sure how well the idea of rolling them in cinnamon sugar mixture turned out because the cinnamon sugar mixture has basically melted and it's formed like a toffee almost, like a caramel, which makes them incredibly sticky, but I like that. So, and I suppose you can have your hotteok in various ways anyway, because they probably do that in Korea. So let's give it a taste. I'll taste it. I have tasted a warm one, so I'll show that now, and I'm going to taste a cold one. Okay, so I've got no filling. Let me have another bite because I've got no filling. What you're basically eating is fried dough with cinnamon and sugar inside. And if that's not heaven, I don't know what is. Okay, I still haven't got any filling. Where the freaking hell is the filling? Just wait. Where's the filling? And you're going to be worried as well when you cook these. Sorry, I'm talking about that the middle is not going to cook because it's going to look raw, but it will. So just bear with it. It will look raw, but it will be cooked. And here's the filling. Let me just... Okay, so this one obviously has no filling. Do you see what I mean about the filling though? Look. I can see that little brown line there, that's the filling. The little brown line was the filling. So I would recommend putting as much filling as you can possibly get in it so you can get more stuff, because as you can see I put a teaspoon in and there was just nothing in there. That was me making brown sugar hotcakes, also known as hotteok, and they were incredible. They actually turned out so well. The first time was a bit of but the second time we did it, because I had help and because it wasn't me doing it, it actually worked really nicely. The dough proved incredibly well, but that was because we put it in a boiling hot conservatory. So if you've got one of those, use it. And they're, with the recipe tweaked a bit because I think I did a few things wrong, like I burnt them basically. This would be like a really nice thing to eat. Like if you like churros or like cinnamon sugar pretzels, you'll love these because that's basically what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go and eat the rest of these because they only last a couple of days. And also, I'm completely covered in cinnamon sugar.